It's April 15th in Ottawa. I'm at the office of the Professional Institute of the Public Service, and I'm talking to the acting president, Gary Corbett. The Institute has taken a very unusual measure in the last week in launching a charter challenge against the Budget Implementation Act. Can you explain to me, Mr. Corbett, the gist of that challenge?
Well, the gist of the challenge is that, as you know, there's been a wage restraint placed on our members, and we're saying that restraint is not right. It's actually against their constitutional rights. We've launched a charter challenge based on some jurisprudence in other areas of the country that have basically where the court has decided it's a fundamental right to be able to collectively bargain and freedom of association in unions, and so therefore our members have a right to collectively bargain, but this particular legislation denies that right.
There was a significant court decision in 2007 in British Columbia. Can you tell me about that decision and how your charter challenge last week follows on that?
Well, it's very similar in that it was nurses in British Columbia who basically were settlements or working conditions or bargaining rights were imposed on them. Bargaining was imposed on them, and therefore they challenged that, saying you've taken away our right to collectively bargain. It went to the Supreme Court, and the court ruled in favor of the union's right and the people's right, the members' right to freely associate with unions, and the union's right to collectively bargain. And so therefore, this is exactly the same case that has happened with the federal government now, with our members and all members all workers in the federal public service. And so we're launching the charter challenge to that effect.
Is this the kind of thing that the union does on a regular basis, charter challenges?
It seems to be the kind of thing that the union is doing on a regular basis with this particular government, because this particular step is oppressive. It denies the rights of individuals to in a democratic society to collectively bargain. But this government seems to be a ideology of this particular government that it can do whatever it pleases. So we've launched the charter challenge because we think it can't. I mean, there are fundamental rights that are basic to being in a democratic society, and this government has decided that it's going to go ahead and do what it likes.
We've spoken a bit to John Gordon of the Public Service Alliance about the pay equity implications of the budget bill, and we're talking today with you about the collective bargaining aspects of it. Why do you suppose the government would bring in this kind of legislation in the face of court decisions that have been made already?
That's a very good question. The government, as you know, is a minority government. I think that's part of the issue with respect to the various parties who are in a position not to challenge the government on issues of fundamental human rights. So therefore, because it's a minority situation, you may find that some of the opposition parties aren't willing to go into to force an election on this particular matter. So that's part of what's going on. I think the other thing that's going on is just the whole, like I said, ideology of that the government can impose whatever it likes on a democratic society, but that's not how it works. So we're taking it to the courts.
And you've had opinions from internal people on your staff, legal people on your staff, as well as lawyers outside. What are they telling you about your chances here?
Well, we've had, like you said, we have our internal legal staff who also consult with experts in the field, and they're telling us our chances are extremely good. We expect that this, while it will take some time, as charter challenges usually do, that we will be vindicated. We're going to win in this. After that, I'm not sure what the government will do. But if it won in BC, it stands to reason that the same principles will apply with the federal employees.